Hey, Tony Gaskins here, Little Car Chronicles. You know, I wanted to talk to you because it's one thing that I've been thinking about, and that is evaluating my motives. And that's one practice that I've always had since I changed my life, is evaluating my motives. And I think a lot of times as people, we forget to do that. We forget to evaluate our motives, because your motives, that's the root of why you do what you do. But those motives will also determine your fruit. And so you have to come to that place to where you could be real with you about whatever you want out of life, and whatever you're doing in life is, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? And then when you understand why you are doing it, then you're able to determine how you should be doing it and what you should be doing. Because if your motives are just purpose-based, then that dictates one direction that you should take. If your motives are purpose and profit-based, that dictates another direction you should take. If your motives are just profit-based, that dictates another direction you should take. And so you have to identify that, because what you don't want to do is have a motive but claim that your motive is something else. And you want to be real about your motives. So for me, as an example, I want to impact the world. I want to affect change. I want to touch lives, but I want to do it full time and earn a living doing it. So even running a nonprofit company, you can raise money for your nonprofit company through grants and donations. But if you need to do that full time, and if you need to make a living, then by law you're allowed to pay yourself. So it's good, it's necessary to be clear about that, of what you want and what you don't want. So I was working with a company as a partner, just a small equity partner. And I was telling the company, like, hey, I don't need to be in the, in the promo, in the publicity and things of that nature. And so publicity is coming out about the company, and my name isn't in it. And at that moment, the first thought was like, wow, should I have put my name in it? Like, this could have been a good look. Maybe should I have done it? But then on the other side, I had to remember my motives. My motives is to help the individuals that I brought together in the company, the connections that I'm making, to help those individuals, and also to add something to my portfolio. It's not about, my motives are not to be known in that space, or to be known for that project. So I had to remind myself of my motives, because sometimes when you don't remember your motives, then you'll forget the reason why you're doing what you're doing, and you also forget the end goal of why you're doing what you're doing. And so you got to be mindful of that. And I want to share that because in every aspect of life, we have motives, but we hinder ourselves, we hinder our results, we hinder ourselves from accomplishing our goals if we are not pure and direct and real about our motives. And so understand, there's nothing wrong with wanting to marry someone who's financially stable. There's nothing wrong with wanting to marry someone who earns as much as you earn, or wanting to marry someone who earns more than you earn, if you see them as being the provider or the head of the household. There's nothing wrong with that, but you just have to be clear about that. Because if you go in pretending to be someone who doesn't care about money, who doesn't care about your partner's earnings or earning potential, then you're presenting a facade. You're living a lie. And so this person may get with you and fall in love, and they may be making $300,000 a year, and they quit their job to go work at a soup kitchen, be the director of a soup kitchen, feeding the homeless for $30,000 a year. If in the courting phase you told them that money doesn't matter to you, you're not focused on money, and what they earn doesn't matter, you just focus on the heart, then you told a lie. And then you set yourself up for failure, and you'll get exactly what you did not want. And so this is a lesson I had to learn, because, you know, being a giver, I would always be like, you know, I don't want anything. I don't want any thanks. I don't need any pay. I don't need it. And then it was times that I wouldn't get those things, and I would feel salty about it. And I'm like, you know what? You went in there, you took your butt in there trying to be fake humble, trying to be fake, you know, whatever, and you played yourself. So if you want to be paid for that service, then say you want to be paid for that service. If you want some clout, some recognition for that service, then say you want some recognition for that service. You know, make it known so that when you don't get what you said you did not want, you don't have to be mad. And you see that a lot of times, like in relationships too, when somebody said, oh, what you want for your birthday? And you say, oh, nothing. You don't have to get me nothing. And then come your birthday, you don't get nothing, and now you salty and you in your feelings because you trying to be, you know, fake humble. And so that's where we have to be clear with our motives, what we want, what we don't want, what we expect, what we don't expect. And you got to say that, you got to believe that, and you got to stick to that. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins. Just a little quick short message. I'll be dropping these every now and then. So, you know, I realize there's no time could be wasted. So everything the Lord give me, I got to give, because I understand that it's a person that I may be their Zig Ziglar, like Zig Zig was for me. So hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.